So what we're going to do this evening is obviously, as the title suggests, go behind the scenes of this Christmas movie, diving very heavily into the world of the Griswolds.
Santa's on his way. Hip, hip, hooray for Christmas vacation.
Now, if you recall what I just said in part one, filming began March 1989 in Colorado and California. I did not mention Chicago, but we're talking about this movie as Chicago movie tours, right? So what about Chicago? We've got to have that in here somewhere. After all, the movie is set here, and look at all that Chicago gear throughout the movie. I have just a few screenshots here where you have Clark in his Bears hat. You've got Rusty with an Illinois sweatshirt, and then you've got that Blackhawks jersey that Clark wears with the number 00 on it, which incidentally you can buy from the Chicago Blackhawks for $200 if you're interested in buying Clark Griswold's Blackhawks jersey. So yeah, the movie's set here. We have Chicago represented through costume. And we also have several shots of Chicago in this movie, some of which, if you blink, you might miss it, but we're not going to blink. We're going to have these on screen for a little bit of time here so we can talk about why these shots are significant to the film and what they have to do with telling us a little bit about the story itself. So there are at least 7 shots of Chicago in National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. You can look over there. We're obviously going to consider 6 of those. We have landmarks, we have spaces, we have buildings in Chicago, all of which are pretty well known, probably outside of Chicago as well. All of these, if you notice over there on the far left, numbers 1 through 6, all of these are used as establishing shots. So that means they are either setting up the location that the character is about to enter, like the bottom 2, where you can see Marshall Field's department store, numbers 5 and 6. We have some exterior shots, establishing shots of that store. And then the next shot will be Clark entering that store to buy Christmas presents. So that's one way that these establishing shots are used. The second way is like numbers 3 and 4, which is just kind of showing Chicago decorated at Christmas time, not only to highlight the season of Christmas, but also to suggest the city's busyness and how it comes alive during this shopping season. So let's look a little bit closer at these establishing shots in part 2 of Christmas Landmarks here, and again, see why they are used for this movie, even though this movie is not filmed here. Filmed in Colorado, filmed in California. And we'll go in the order in which they appear in the film itself. So starting with numbers 1 and 2.